Same horse, new jockey? Just when we thought the Stallions found their quarterback, Matt Corral came in and may have made things a little bit more complicated out there in Birmingham.
Well, it was different in St. Louis because it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. The UFL version of Tyreek Hill has returned. Jahcour Pearson, welcome back. How did the last year's leading receiver in the XFL doing his first game back? We got highlights coming up.
We got 2 winless teams, and one of them, Skubie, must win this week. Which team in Texas has had enough of losing and is going to get their first dub? Well, I'll tell you what. You stick around to find out, because UFL Today starts now. Woo! What's good, and welcome into UFL Today. My name is Daniel Dopp, joined by Joey G, and thankfully, he decided to show up to work this week.
Damn, already? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell y'all something, fellas. It is good to be back.
Don't lie
I had to take a week off. My boy was getting married. I got to officiate the wedding. It was pretty dope.
Awesome.
Congrats to the Wesleys. But I stayed up to date to everything that was going on UFL. Guys, this week we had another 4th and 12 conversion. We had another game go down to the final seconds. And on top of that, the Stallions are still playing musical chairs with the quarterback. I don't know what's going on with that position, Daniel.
We got too much going on. We're going to talk about that Stallions quarterback conversation in just a little bit. But Joey, we also got a bunch going on in the chat right now. Tell me about the polls we got on YouTube chat.
You hit on it, Daniel. There might be some quarterback controversy in Birmingham. We want to know, which quarterback should the Stallions throw under center, Matt Corral or Adrian Martinez? I'm in the chat right now. Come at me.
All right, we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But first, we got a bunch of highlights to show you. Let's kick things off with my Michigan Panthers. San Antonio Brahmas. And I got to tell you guys, there's a new sheriff in town for the San Antonio Brahmas, Chase Garbers, out on IR, which means Quinten Dormady is back. Skubie, Quinten Dormady has a heck of a top bullet point right there.
Yeah, a lot happened last year, let's just say that. But 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last season. The guy's got a rocket.
All right, first drive for the Brahmas. Dormady in the shotgun gets great protection. I mean, just look at this time in the pocket.
Zay!
Just lobs it up there to Justin Smith deep into Panthers territory. Smith obviously gives us the international first down signal.
Yeah, we would like to see that.
A couple plays later, John Lovett takes the handoff and says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pound this one in the end zone myself.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Lovett is a big dude making big moves.
Brahmas go up 7-0 early next drive for San Antonio. Dormady goes deep again, and his name is Jontre Kirkland.
Woo!
Skubie, you played wide receiver in college. That looks like a tough catch.
That is a tough catch, Daniel. He got all acrobatic, got up in the air, great body control. The dude is a problem.
Woo! Second quarter now, Panthers lining up for a punt. Nope! Someone's been watching some Lions tape. Fake punt here, Wes Hills.
I like
takes
it.
The snap, rumbles all the way down to the 40.
Really
Michigan
like
looking to capitalize, get on the scoreboard when EJ Perry, not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Strip sack, Tim Ward, fumble recovered by San Antonio.
Just a tough day all around for EJ Perry.
Brahmas taking a shot after that turnover. And you know what? Kai Nakua says, no thank you, good sir.
Kai Nakua, the brother of Puka Nakua, doing catches that his brother does in the league. Unbelievable play. Keep an eye out for him with scouts.
First half winding down. Dormady finds Marquez Stevenson for the touchdown. Brahmas up big, 16-0.
Stevenson hitting that dance, doing his thing. But the Brahmas still in this, and Michigan kind of struggling. But you know who this is? You know who this is?
Jake Bates doesn't struggle. 49 yards, right down the pipe. I mean, that's what we're looking for with Jake Bates. Panthers trail 16-3. Honestly, though, Skubie, tail of the first half, EJ Perry just getting demolished.
Yeah, the defense consistently got to him, and the offensive line could not get any protection. Shout out to the San Antonio Brahmas front because they got pressure on him all day, and then he left the game, did not come back.
Yes, he did, unfortunately. Fourth quarter now, Danny Etling time, former NFL journeyman. And you know whose name I have not said yet today, Skubie?
Whose?
Our dude, Marcus Sims. All he does is catch touchdown passes. Here it is again. Third week in a row. Another touchdown. By the way, someone please answer this man's calls. Gosh, Panthers cut the lead to 10.
What's this?
Hey, 4th and 20 on April 20th.
We like
Thank you for that, Panthers. 2 minutes left. Last chance for Michigan. Hetling just doesn't have the arm. Jordan Mosley says this is a freebie.
We'll take that gladly.
Yep, Brahmas get the win here, 19-9. Panthers go to 2-2. Brahmas move to 3-1.
All right, well, let's make our way over to St. Louis. Showboats in there to take on the Battlehawks. Second play from scrimmage. AJ McCarron getting Jahcour Pearson Peasy involved early. Peasy made his UFL debut, and this offense gets a major boost.
Yes, it does. It played for the Sea Dragons in 2023, led the XFL in receptions and receiving yards. This kid's got juice, Skubie.
Definitely. So we'll come back to him later in the first. Showboats down 3-0. Vinny Papali receives the kick, and he got some speed. Returns it in nice field position. His dad must be proud.
It's not just his dad that's proud. Mark Wahlberg is proud. Wahlburgers is proud. The entire family. Everyone's proud.
Well, a few plays later, Case Cookus finds guess who? Papali, who takes it in for a touchdown. We call that great producing, by the way.
Thank you.
Harry Douglas ends up catching Papali after the touchdown to see who he credits for his success.
You've become so consistent for this football team. Your coaches believe in you. What do you give the credit to?
I mean, just coach putting guys in favorable positions. I mean, again, it takes all 11 guys on the field. I mean, that play doesn't happen without the offensive line, Case, and everyone else around it. I think we got a really good group, solid system. It just was a matter of, making those plays. And it was a really good first drive. I felt like we were grooving.
Pretty invincible to me, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Under 8 to go in the first, McCarron finds Jacob Sailors, and he says, I believe I can dive. That's how you extend. Battlehawks regain the lead 9-6, Dopp.
Look at this speed to the edge, reaching out, getting the pylon, protecting the football. That's how you want to get it done.
Oh, yeah, we love to see that. Now, under 2 to go in the first, McCarron hands it off to Wayne Gallman. His first UFL touchdown, reservations for 6. They had 133 yards rushing as a team. It is 15-6. Later in the second, Showboats ain't done. Darius Victor is a bowling ball, and the guys on the St. Louis defense are pins. Low man wins, and he gets lower than the Yin Yang twins. St. Louis with the ball. Let's hear from McCarron's family.
What do you like watching about your dad?
I just want him to get a lot of touchdowns and do good at football.
Okay, you heard it from them. And Mom, we do have on record that AJ gets his speed from you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Any speed he has comes from his mama.
Yeah.
Well. With mama's speed and his son's wishes coming true, McCarron gets another touchdown. Jake Sutherland in the end zone there. Battlehawks up 26-17. 5 minutes left to play. McCarron, he says, fetch me an apron real quick because I'm cooking up something special. Finds Peasy right in the back of the end zone. What a dime, what a catch. What you got to say about that, Peasy?
I am with Peasy. They call you Peasy for a reason. In your debut back here today, you find your way into the end zone.
Gotta find my way in the end zone, you feel me? Welcome to the Lou, we back, baby. It feel good to wear the blue. Just chill, they already know what it is, man. Can't be
Yes, sir, Ski. Battlehawks go on to win at 32-17. Now let's toss to Harry Douglas, who is with Anthony Beck.
Look at your offense, and you have so many dynamic weapons. It's Shepard, it's Hakeem Butler, it's Pearson, it's Sayers. You have so many dynamic guys. How good could this offense really be?
Just a fantastic job. It really starts in the trenches, too. Our offensive line does a hell of a job. AJ coordinates it. Bruce Gergaski, our coordinator, to just get the ball spread out to different players. It's not an easy task, and he stepped up and did a great job. Excellent team effort across the board on all phases.
What's one thing that you really want to say at the end of this interview?
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
That boy bang! Kayla, over to you with AJ.
You gotta love when coaches will have fun with you. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, bad.
Look at this. AJ McCarron crushed it again this week. 35 for 45 for 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he gets back a baller in Jahcour Pearson that can go out there and make things happen on the field. Scooby, he already had a really good core of pass catchers. Now it just gets better. How much better can this offense be with Pearson?
They can be as good as they want to be. I mean, the sky is literally the limit for this team. When you talk about Jahcour Pearson, 10 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown in his season debut. And AJ was looking for him multiple times. You could tell that Pearson was still kind of getting his legs underneath him. There was a time towards the end of the game where he lost the ball on a fumble. You got to be able to get used to everything. But this is a guy that can run a 4.2 40. We had him on the show last year, and he even called out Tyreek Hill to a race because that's how much he believes in his speed. And now you get him, the guy who led the XFL in receiving last year, on this team with guys who are problems like Darius Shepard, who leads the UFL in all-purpose yards.
Yep.
And then you're talking about Marcel Aitman. He has 3 touchdowns in the season, made huge plays. And then lastly, Hakeem Butler, the wide receiver who just sheds tackles all the time.
Dude, and you kind of mentioned it without mentioning it, right? AJ McCarron has wide receivers of different types all around the field to be able to take advantage of. He's got that speed guy, that slot guy. He's got the big guy in Hakeem Butler. So you've got a lot of different weapons for AJ McCarron to be able to use. This is just another one of those situations where adding Jahcour Pearson with a guy that is the caliber of AJ McCarron can really unlock this offense to do even more.
And let's not forget the running back Sailors. Over 100 yards rushing.
100%.
I mean, what is that, the second running back this season to have over 100 yards in a game? And another thing that I think the St. Louis Battlehawks are really benefiting from is their offensive line. They had all 5 guys return from last season, which is really rare in spring football. So a couple games into the season, we're already seeing them have their chemistry at a high level and a high degree. And right now, you got to believe in the Battlehawks with how they're playing.
I'll tell you what, you talk about chemistry. It's easy when you just got one quarterback under center.
Yeah, exactly, right?
What happens when you have got 2 quarterbacks you want to consider starting? You know what I'm saying? Let's look ahead here. Man, that's some producing right now. Hey, Birmingham loves the D. 2-1 defenders visiting the 3-0 Stallions.
No,
hey,
did he?
Matt Corral or Adrian Martinez? That is the question for the Stallions.
I'm going Martinez, right? Because he had the best game that a quarterback could have last week, right?
Yeah, you'd think so. You would think so, but no. Scooby, we're starting Matt Corral this game. Early first quarter, defenders driving. Cameron Harris with the handoff, and guess what? Here comes the boom. How you like me now? Ball comes out.
Here comes a boom. Here comes a boom. They were really physical in this game early on, and you saw big hits all around. But over here, this is the reason why switching quarterbacks is deadly. The exchange over here, clearly chemistry problems, Dopp.
Botched handoff, not the best start for Matt Corral, or when you're switching quarterbacks, not the way you want to start a football game.
No, not at all.
Defenders after the fumble looking to score 3rd and goal from the 9. Jordan Tam, who scrambles and finds Chris Rowland, the back of the end zone. It's a really pretty rollout right there from Jordan Tam.
Yeah, one thing I love about Tamu is the fact that he can create with his legs, and when he's on the run, he can throw some pretty accurate balls. So that dual threat has defenses on their heels.
Second quarter, Stallions 3rd and 7 from midfield. Matt Corral finds Amari Rogers. Spin move and says,
"Peace.
I am faster than everybody else." Dude, look at this spin move. B button,
and
or whatever
I approve.
Square.
Shout out to the 3s. Because I wore number 3. Amari Rogers wore number 3. He got speed. He got in the end zone. That's a play.
Hey, 2 minutes left in the half, and we got weather, people. Lightning delay in Birmingham. Both teams would have to leave the field. Took 1 hour and 26 minutes to resume play. And when we do, Scooby, it's a freaking downpour.
Oh, my Lord.
Get your ponchos.
First play out of the lightning delay is a punt.
It wasn't.
Well, this is exactly the worst nightmare for every punter ever. Bad snap, over his head into the end zone.
Bad.
Stallions get the safety, take the lead 8-6. I mean, this is, what do you do in this situation?
I mean, this really bit them in the butt because it was like a 5-point swing. They would end up getting a field goal. And how much was this game ended by?
We'll find out. Jordan Tam, who finds Kelvin Harmon. He says, "You are not going to take that from me, you little guy."
Harmon turned up towards the end of this game, and you could see that Tom was started to just search for him, and he responded with every single throw.
Big guy, wet ball, not going to get that strip. Kelvin's all smiles after the touchdown. Later in the fourth quarter now, Stallions up 17-15. Tam with scrambles. Oh my gosh, Scooby!
What a hit.
All right, so that was a third down. Rather than go for it on fourth,
I would have liked if they went for it on fourth down. A little bit questionable for me.
We'll talk about it. All right, so they're up 1, but now the Stallions, they're driving. Amari, Rogers, and Matt Corral get them down into field goal range.
Rogers
sets them up for Ramiz Ahmed to have a shot at a 46-yard game winner.
They just signed this guy on Tuesday.
Right down the middle, man. By the way, look at those fans holding it down. Everyone else left after that rain delay. Not these guys. Big win for the Stallions as they stay unbeaten. They go 4-0. Also, you gotta love shirtless men. Dude, just signed, and you love to see the locker room be able to celebrate like that after a game, right, man?
That's what it's about,
that's
right?
What it's all
in the
about.
UFL, those stories, those opportunities. I mean, you literally dream about things like that, where all of a sudden, here's your chance, here's your moment. Do something, make it happen, and he did.
So I want to come off of that with a question for you, Skubie, because you're talking about it, opportunities in the UFL. We had a situation last week. Adrian Martinez put up arguably the best game the UFL has ever had at the quarterback position. Over 340 total yards, 3 touchdowns. And rather than start him this week, they ended up going with Matt Corral. Now, you get a W. You're 4-0. So what are you going to say after that? But I think that leaves a lot to be questioned because you understand there's a lot that goes into changing a quarterback for a team. There's chemistry that's got to be involved here, right?
Yeah, I addressed this probably week 2, I think, was when we talked about this. The chemistry with your teammates is really what concerns me. I've played in a 2-quarterback system before, and I think about the locker room. There are guys who like one quarterback better than the other. Corral does throw a better ball than Martinez. Martinez is a better dual threat, but at some point, the handoff exchange, like we saw, those things are due to no chemistry with each other. The timing is a little bit off because you work with a guy so much, you have that timing. And, I think we're in a place with spring football where Coach Holtz is trying to give them both tape.
Yeah.
And he wants them both to have an opportunity to show something to NFL coaches rather than more so being worried about the dubs, which I don't know how fans can feel about that. You're winning.
Sure.
But I'm a little bit concerned about it from a championship perspective.
Well, that's one of those things, right? You want to establish consistency, and you don't have consistency when you're switching back and forth between the quarterbacks. Now, I'm not a Hall of Fame coach. I'm also not 4-0 in the UFL, so, what I have to say may not matter. It just feels like one of those situations where when you understand you play with one guy, he plays a certain way. When you switch it up and go with another guy, he's going to play different. Inherently, that offense could potentially feel a little
Joe,
different.
I want to know what the chat is saying about this because I know the UFL community has some of their own opinions here. But one thing I will say about Corral is he seems to be more of a rhythm quarterback.
Yeah.
That once he gets in some type of rhythm, that's when he'll really cook you. And you saw that towards the end of the fourth quarter, especially those last 2 drives. He made some great throws. And quite frankly, he made a throw towards the end of the game that fell right in the breadbasket of the receiver, and he dropped it. So he started to cook. But I just don't know how that's going to work if he's not in rhythm for the game and you're consistently switching these guys. Joe, what is the chat saying about this?
So twofold here. Lemons and Jersey the King, 2 consistent viewers of ours, they both like Martinez. They're lighting up the comment section vouching for Martinez. However, the poll says Matt Corral at 63% should be the Stallions starter. Hey, real quick before this gets away from us, we have a fan in the chat who is at the game. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing some digging. I'm trying to find out if this is legitimate or not. I believe you, Gregory Crawford, but I think he was one of those wet men in the stands.
Oh,
just hanging out, watching some football, I'm gonna keep doing some digging. All right.
All right.
We'll find out.
Like
that looked extremely uncomfortable. I hate wet socks. I hate wet underwear. So shout out to you. You're a real fan.
He stayed. He just responded. Gregory Crawford, you are the man.
This is what you're supposed to do with spring football, for what it's worth. We all love being able to watch that. Hey, we got one more game we got to talk about, though, Skubie. This is the last one.
And this is the one that happened today, just before we got on air. We go to Texas for an in-state rivalry between the Roughnecks and the Renegades. We kicked this off in the first quarter. Arlington up 3-0. And they were driving, Dopp. But Luis Perez, even in his fancy uniforms, has some miscommunication with the wideout, and it's picked off by Keandre Thomas, and he takes it all the way to the Renegades 40. It looked like Perez thought he would come back for a fade stop, but come on, you don't see Perez do that often.
Yeah, only one interception coming into today. It kind of looked like the wide receiver might have fallen. I don't know. I don't put that on Perez, though.
All right, second quarter. Houston on 4th and 1. Mark Thompson gets a handoff. Another guy making his UFL debut does what he does for the first. The drive would result in a field goal late in the second now. Houston with the ball. Sennett drops back and finds Cyril Grayson, who makes a catch that doesn't make sense because that's money. Just like Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. Roughnecks with great field position inside the 23. A couple plays later, Sennett finds Justin Hall, and he says, "You can't stop me." That's 1. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Broken tackles. Next play. Emmanuel Butler decides to serve him up with reservations for 6. Way to throw it in there. 93 Roughnecks. They're looking for 2. Sennett went 18 for 28, 189 yards and a touchdown on the day. And he finds Braden Bowman. Look how wide open he is in the end zone here, Dopp.
Oh my gosh, where's the defense, Skubie? Even number 5 was like, where is everybody?
It's 11-3 going into half. So we'll move into the third quarter now. Houston got a big lift today with the return of Mark Thompson, as I just mentioned.
Oh yeah, man, the 2023 USFL Offensive Player of the Year missed the first 3 weeks, but this kid can make things happen out there, Skubie. He did just that today.
Yeah, look at the immediate impact.
Whoop! Oh, look at that
6
jump
more
cut
on the board.
That was a pretty jump cut.
Yes, it was. 9 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown on the day for him. Houston leads by 14 after a failed extra point. But the former XFL champions won't go away. Deontay Burnett with the diving grab after Perez fires in a laser. Renegades now trail only by 8 late in the fourth. Last chance for Arlington, starting at the 2-yard line. A 98-yard drive is what they will need. They get to drive in a little bit. 2nd and 10. Perez, a perfect ball up the middle to Burnett. 4 catches, 58 yards on the day for him. Clock still runs. Less than 20 seconds left in the game now. Perez looking to make something happen, but the defense comes up clutch. Give me that. That's a strip sack. Arlington was 2 for 10 on 3rd downs and only 194 yards on offense. A long day on that side of the ball as they would lose 17-9, and Houston gets their first win while Arlington stays defeated.
The segment that everyone has been waiting for. The time of the show where we say, stop playing with me. We find our favorite play or moment. Talk about stop playing with me. I'm going to go first if you guys don't mind.
Get us right, bro.
As we do. Listen, I'm not leaving. Let's talk about this. Silly, shirtless men playing football in the rain. This is what football is all about. Stop playing with me. These air guitars, we're going air guitars in the UFL. These are my people. Sign me up. Stop playing with me. If you bought a ticket and didn't stay, shame on you. These guys are real football fans.
Now, let me just say, he did not come here to show out. He did not come here to impress you, but Japeezy is back. Last year's XFL leading receiver picked up where he left off. We got a PSA. Stop playing with me.
Woo-hoo. Pretty. Hey, it's a fake. How about this? Someone's been watching a lot of Lions film back home. Michigan Panthers running a fake punt. What? Stop playing with me. This is a league full of second chances. Nothing says second chances like converting a punt for your special teams and your offense. Stop playing with me, Michigan Panthers. Beautiful.
Eric Kirkland, the guy that played QB in college at LSU, is now a wide receiver going crazy in the UFL. Yes, he did play with Jamar Chase. Yes, he did play with Justin Jefferson. And yes, he's now playing like them in the UFL. Stop playing with me.
Hey, how about this, Skubie? Wade Phillips is a treasure. Look at this guy. Stop playing with me. If you got a problem with this, I got a problem with you. As our dude in Death Cab for Cutie says, stay young, go dancing, young man. I love this. Stop playing with me if you got a problem with it. Wade Phillips needs to be treasured at all costs.
Hit stick rating 100. Quinten Dormady. When you're at the QB position and you scramble like an egg, you might get folded like an omelet.
Whoa!
Stop playing with me. Come on, Dopp. Hold on. What were you saying?
Oh, knock, knock, knock.
Who's that?
Dormady.
Dormady who? Knocking the Dormady down. Stop playing with me.
Stay off the weed. 4th and 20 on what day of the year? 4/20. The Panthers got one final play, and what do? They throw it up high. No good. Stop playing with me. Michigan Panthers, stay off the
This is why the Panthers are everyone's favorite team, guys. Everyone knows it. Hey, we have a ton of fun with this segment, but we're not the only ones having fun. You check back and look in at our man, Vontae Diggs, not buying all the hype from the Battle Dome. Check this out.
Hey, for 40,000 people, this really ain't that loud. I'm gonna tell you the truth. My high school louder than y'all. Real life.
Wow.
Stop playing with him.
I hope he played better in high school. You know what I'm saying? Gosh, that's tough. Hey, seriously though, I love doing this show with you guys, but most importantly, I love the UFL. Spring football is back, Joey. I think we got some stuff in chat going on right now.
Yeah, listen, my investigative mind is in sync with this chat right now. Mr. Gregory Crawford says that he has only missed one Stallion game in 3 years. This was the man who was in attendance last night for Stallions defenders. Bring on the rain.
I want to know which shirtless man this guy was. This is what it's all about. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, though. We're going to do this every single week until the end of the UFL season. 6:30 p.m. every single Sunday. For Skubie and Joe, my name is Daniel. Don't forget to love each other, be kind to yourself, and stay cool. We'll see you guys next week.
Stop playing with me.